Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. Hope you are all doing fantastic. Welcome to my very kind of impromptu late, well, not really late night, kind of impromptu, I think, podcast. It's crazy schedule, so it's kind of like get the moment I have an opportunity to be able to do it, I'm like, yes, let's just jump on and do it. So I am so happy to see some of you here. I don't know how many of our favorite, hopefully all of our faves will be here. So I see some of them coming in right now. So there you go. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for a few minutes. Hope you're all well. Happy, wait, what is today? Thursday. I think today is Thursday. Happy Thursday. My days are rolling into one. So I'm like, I don't even know what day it is. So welcome again. As you know, we are a channel that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, or at least we are supportive of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Harry, Meghan, Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Poola Guy, the chickens, Mama Mia, all of us here at Sussex Squad as well. Welcome. I hope it's not too loud. I'm actually in a different space at the moment, and it's kind of a little bit close to the window, I think, a little bit. So it's you can kind of hear outside. So hopefully it's not too loud. So if it is, I'm sorry. But it's what I got at the moment, so I can do my podcast. So how are you all doing, my friends? How are you? Let's just say hello to some of in the chat right now. Fancy is here. Hello, Fancy. And our awesome moderator, Karen Emma's here. Hello, Karen. And Mad World. And Nutty Doctor. Nutty Doctor, it's so good to see you. So every now and then you pop in. So I am very excited to have you here. When you can pop in. It says best startup music ever. Well, there you go. And I was just about to start figuring out how to, getting a new thing music, but now I know you like it. Hey, maybe I just keep it there for a little while because I'm like, that's been there for a while. Maybe I change the video part of it. That's been there for a while because I was like, that needs to change a little bit. And so, I mean, it was like 2 years ago that Harry was playing polo. So maybe it's time, maybe to change that up a little. But I'm happy you love the music. So, and I'm happy you're here. Hey, Cynthia, how are you? And Sonia and Mama Jane, Mad World. Hi, guys. So happy you're here. And Little Mac and Norma and Marjorie. Hi. Hello. And of course, hey Dolores, I see you there. And Marcia, hey Marcia, how are you? And Norma and Cynthia. Oh my goodness. All of our wonderful family members are coming. So hey, yes. Very happy you guys are here. So what is happening? Well, I'm just gonna say hello to everyone else as we come in. Yes, I see you, Janet Lavalle. I see you there. So what is happening with our face? Well, they are quiet. They are very quiet, and I'm just happy that they're quiet. I was like, you know what? You stay under your tree, and then whenever you ready to, show us what you're doing, you will show us. I'm assuming, I would just suspect there are more stuff coming up with the Sussexes for the, I guess 2 more months coming for the year. So I mean, I'm assuming there are more stuff, but if they're not, we've had a lot. So hey, it'll be amazing no matter what. So but what is happening to them? Just something actually really minor. They had a little bit of a change in their website. As we know, they had the first picture that Miss Anne Harriman took at the One Young World event last year, and that was like a few days. Last year. I think it was like 2 days, I think, before Queen Betty passed away, when Meghan spoke at the One Young World event. And so this was there, Miss Anne was there with them and took that photo. And so that was on their website until, I guess, today they changed it. And so I guess it's like maybe every year around this time, they're going to be changing their photo, because the original photo that they had from the Times event, or the Times photo shoot with them, they changed it last year around this time, kind of like around September, around this time, because that's when this was shot. And then so this year, they changed it to this shot that was from the Invictus Games last month. So I'm assuming now this is like a pattern. So every year we're going to get a new photo. That would be Archwell's landing photo on their website. So wonderful. I love this photo. It's actually one of the most shared photos from the final night, and or at least the closing ceremony for the Invictus Games. So that's wonderful. I mean, yeah, I think it's like one of the most shared. Everyone loves this photo. And of course, with Harry and Meghan, it's always black and white. They love black and white. So we don't get to see the beautiful color of Meghan's green dress. And we don't see Harry's it looks like dark blue suit and then his blue or black shirt. I forgot. This is me all about fashion here. So yeah, so there's a little bit of change, so I'm telling you, I'm very proud of Archwell in the last couple of weeks, is that they've been all up on it and changing things, and I was like, you go Archwell, you go. I'm very, very proud of you. So very good for Archwell. What else is happening with them? Hang on one second. What else is happening? Harry, of course, we know Harry, Spare has been the number one book in just about every place, or at least in the top 5. And so booksellers is confirming what we all know. I mean, Harry's book is a hit. The sky is blue, of course, or at least sometimes, or maybe the sky is up, but booksellers has a little bit of an update on the countries that Spare has just been, at least top 5, says biographies are always very much in demand, especially Prince Harry's Spare. The memoir from the British Prince was among the top 5 best-selling nonfiction titles in 12 countries in the first 8 months of its year of release, which is this year. In the UK, Ireland, Italy, and Belgium region of Wallonia, Spare was the most popular book overall. Of course, and it's been in the most popular in the US and so many other places as well. And it started, I think Spare started from 18, it translated into 18 different languages. I think it now went up to 40 different languages. It recently, I saw that they're going to up it to 40 different languages. So it's just like, you go Spare, and of course, Penguin Random House has put it up for a Grammy nomination. I mean, how I listen to books. So a lot of times I don't have a chance to sit down and read. So I listen as I walk or listen as I do stuff and whatever. And I'm telling you, especially, the audiobook, obviously listening to it. But of all the books that I have listened to, Spare is by far the best. I mean, it was just, there's something about, I don't know who coached Harry and help. I mean, I don't know all the people that was part of it. I have to go back and look at the people who really worked on the audio part of it. But I'm telling you, I've listened to so many books, and Spare is like tops for me. It just evokes such everything. It's amazing. And so I don't see why this book should not be nominated for a Grammy. There's no reason why it should not win a Grammy. So I'm just like, fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything's crossed, but that Spare would be nominated. I think is it next week that the Grammy nominations are going to be coming out or something? Or they're going to be voting for I forget. I forgot to look. I saw it somewhere and then I forgot what, I totally forgot, where, if it's going to be, they're going to start voting, or if it's going to be, they're going to announce the nominations. I don't remember. I'll have to look and then we'll talk about it next time. But Spare's doing amazing. It's doing amazing. It's not going away. And again, Jada Pinkett Smith's book it's actually coming out on Tuesday, and Britney Spears' book is coming out. So those are the two that can challenge it. But I don't know. I mean, Harry is such a global. I know Britney was as well, and she is as well. So I don't know if people have kept up with Britney, or if if it's she does have the worldwide following as she did before. I don't know, because I sort of like, pop in with Britney and all of those things. But I don't, who knows? But I don't see any book that's really surpassing Spare in numbers. Again, Brittany might be the one. If Jada, it may. I'm not sure. Again, I don't know how worldwide Jada is. I know Will is, but I don't know. So I don't really know. But honestly, I don't see it happening. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but Spare is it, man, especially the audio version. Oh my goodness. That's the best. That is the best. I mean, including books that I've heard from actors who've read their books, and I was like, Harry's got you all beat, man. Harry has got you all beat. That is amazing to be able to say that. But Spare is something special. So yeah. That's why, what is his name, Fat Joe, I guess, was like, buy the book like Prince Harry. Like, basically we want Prince Harry's numbers with that book. So yeah, very interesting. Lottie's like, me too, Pedal. I just love Harry's voice. I'm telling you, you feel like you're right there with him. It's an experience, not just you hearing a book, but it's an experience. And the fact that he was able to pull that off, it was just like, wow. I'm telling you, Harry should go into acting or something. Honestly, like she could be at least, or at least a voice actor. He is so good. He is so good. He's like Meg, Meg, both of them. They should do some voice acting. That would be, hey. Um. Uh. Nutty Doctor says, if a book is well written, it will sell. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and especially if you have like a name person like Brittany or Jada attached to it, if it's well written, yeah, sure. Some books have a lot of revelations in there, but not exactly well written. And so after you get past all the revelations and all of that stuff, if it's not well written, then it's like, okay, it's okay, but will you stay with it and share it with a friend? So yeah. But anyways, hang on one second. My cords. Oh, hang on one second. My computer just got unplugged. There we go. Get it, keep it plugged there so that way it does not go off. My battery is dying. So, anyways, what else is happening? Thank you, Nutty Doctor. Oh, this is happening. KCLU Radio has let us know that the organizers of the star-studded Santa Barbara County event for the first responders says it made $800,000. Maroon 5, Oprah, Ellen, Kevin Costner, plus Harry and Meghan. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were all a part of the benefit concert in Summerland, which is Kevin Costner's ranch out there in Santa Barbara. And so yeah, they made $800,000. So kudos for them. That is awesome. So hey, that'll definitely going to a very, very worthy cause, and going to pay for stuff that will help these men and women, these first responders, to be able to help the community when they are in danger. In California, especially Montecito, is always in some kind of danger, whether it's fire or flooding or mudsliding or it's all sorts of things. I mean, it's amazing, these beautiful communities, and you live there and you love and you enjoy the beauty, but then there's all this stuff you have to look out for, including wild animals. If you listen to the British press, there's one almost every day. It's just like craziness. But anyways, so good for them. Good for them that they raised $800,000. I mean, that's awesome. Almost $1 million. That's awesome for an evening of entertainment and awards and stuff like that. So great job on them for that. And it's so funny because they are still writing about it. Whatever the name of the paper in San Francisco, that I think was last week, they're like, although it happened like a few weeks ago, we can't stop talking about it and we can't stop writing about it. They literally wrote that because it's like I guess they were really shocked that the Sussexes came. So, and it's such a big deal for them that it's like they just can't stop talking about it. So it's just like, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Let's see. What else is happening with our faves? Okay, so I'm not like really into fashion, but I thought that was kind of cool. Vogue magazine, and it's so funny. It's like Megan is the fashion, I don't, trendsetter. It's like whatever she wears, and all of a sudden, all of these, it's like Megan wears something, and then the fashion industry goes along. And it's just like, I'm like, are you all just like literally sitting there waiting to see what Megan wears? And then all of your articles start becoming what she wears, including the tone, the color, and all of that stuff. It's really wild to see it. So I am hoping that Megan is making money off of all of this stuff, because all of the stores or the designers or whomever, their businesses are going great. They are, their stuff is always sold out whenever she wears something. So I hope that, even though it's not announced, I hope that she has deals with all of these people whose clothes she's wearing, because she should be making money off of all of this stuff. And so Vogue magazine is like, from making appearances in Princess Diana's unforgettable 90s looks to Meghan Markle's elegant modern outfit, this reliable winter hero has graced the shoulders of nearly every style icon. And it's like, so one of our wonderful squaddies, Alicia 1985 or OG Hive, put together this, all these little pictures of Meghan in that, in her coat in that shade. I think they call it a camel coat or something. I guess that's what it's called. This is me trying to talk fashion. Hello, Petal. But I have to say, I'm learning, and I'm getting a little bit better, at fashion stuff. But it's just really, it's very, very interesting to me. But again, I say all that to say, I am hoping that Megan is making money from all of this, because it's like, it doesn't matter. Every single thing the girl wears, even the patch on her hand became big news, and it became this big thing. And the company who's, did the patch were all like, yes, she's a customer. I'm like, why would you even say it? But, I'm sure they made a lot of money out of it, because I'm sure since Megan is wearing it, other people and using it, other people want to use it as well. And it's the most amazing thing. So I know one of the things that WME, when she signed with them, is that they were helping her with brand deals and stuff like that. So again, I really hope that Megan has a deal with all of these people, and as celebrities do when they go to the Oscars or whatever, these big events, fashion designers or fashion houses would give them clothes to go to wear. And so they model the clothes and, would bring them big business. So again, it doesn't matter what Megan wears. It turns into big business. And all of a sudden you look around and, it's all sold out, and it's amazing. So, and it doesn't matter how expensive the thing is. A lot of that stuff I could never afford, but it's sold out. So it's absolutely amazing. Karen Warner. Hey, Karen. Karen says, that's what I say. I hope she's making money on her fashion, and Prince Harry too. He is GQ. Yeah, totally. And I hope they're doing it, and obviously on the download, because if this is broadcast and the British press gets it, and then they just tend to muddy everything up, and they make everything nasty. And so nobody has to say a word. Just look at, just see what she's wearing and go buy it. So yeah, I totally agree. I hope she's making money from it, because everyone else sure is making money, including the people writing a million articles about it, including the ones like the Daily Mail, who put a price tag on just about every single thing she wears, whether it's old or new, and so amazing. But yeah, I sure hope she, hey girl, you better, make that bank. So anyways, and speaking of which, so I ran into this article today, and it's so funny. This is from Pure Wow, and this is the reporter writing, and she's like, I love everything about Meghan Markle's fall wardrobe, but this blouse is what I am wearing on repeat. And of course, that's the blouse that you can see Meghan and Harry there when at the Invictus Games, when what was that organization? I don't know why I always forget who they are. They had a whole big day at Invictus Games, and Megan wore this blouse and of course the tan pants. And it's just wild because I this article, there was like a whole article. This, I don't know, it's probably like I don't know, 6, 8 paragraphs article about this outfit and this blouse. And so I was like, okay, let me make a copy. And I was like, oh no, this is just a lot. I cannot sit here and read a whole article about this blouse. This woman wrote a whole article about this blouse. And I was like, Nato, thank you so much, Nato. Yes. I don't know why I always forget. I always think of it like ISPO. No, that's the British governing body for the press. NATO, thank you, NATO, thank you. They had the big day at Invictus, and they had like over 1,000 people at Invictus that day, and that's when Meghan wore this. Now, I mean, I thought it was cute. I mean, again, fantastic, but it's just very interesting to me that this woman wrote this whole long article. And if you don't believe me, just send me an email. I'll send you the link. Or you can just you can find it on Twitter, or just go to Pure Wow, and you can read it. It just was like, oh no, I'm not. I'm not reading a whole article about a blouse. And again, Megan looks so cute. I mean, it's not like her fashion, like we have very different fashion sense. Like I'm very bohemian kind of, I wear like my pants, I wear harem pants most of the times. I'm not a jeans person. So I'm like very soft harem pants, very bohemian top. That's more me. I wear like capes and stuff like that. And so her style and mine are very different. So I can't, I can never see doing a whole article on a blouse. It was just like, wow. And so again, I think if anybody else were wearing this blouse, there would not be an article about it. And it's because Meghan is wearing it. And it's just like, wow. It's amazing. Church Nelly. Hey, Church Nelly, how are you? Church Nelly says, Meghan buys Dior, I buy Fior. What's Fior? What is Fior? Is that a real story? You're just joking. That's funny. That's very funny. But yeah, it's a very interesting. Fatih says, I read the whole article and she explained why it's the perfect fit for tall people to petite like her. Oh, okay. I see. It's girl wrote a whole article about the thing. I was not kidding. So yes, Fatu. I'm like, I think I got like 3/4 the way through it, and I was like, oh no. I couldn't do it. I can't. But again, just looking at it, it really made me realize it's anybody else wearing this outfit, there would not be an article. And it's because Meghan is wearing it. And I think Meghan has such a huge influence on fashion and all the other areas that she's a part of. But it's like, if Meghan is wearing it, I would spend the time and I would write a whole long article about a blouse or an outfit. It's just amazing to me. And not only that, buy the outfit and modeling it's craziness. It's absolute craziness. But again, that is the power and just the influence that Meghan has, especially in the in the fashion world. I mean, girl could do just about anything in there. She'll be successful. So again, I just hope Meghan is making money off of this, because again, everybody else is making money off of this. So hopefully she is as well. So yeah. A little bit different. It's so funny. I was thinking, do I even want to talk about this? This is a little bit I posted a video about this yesterday about the vessel. This is the vessel which is down at the Hudson Yard. And I was really thinking, like, do I even want to talk about this? And I'm still like, do I even want to talk about it? Because it's a hard topic. So I'm going to make it very, very short. So I posted a video about it because, obviously this is down at the Hudson Yard. And the Hudson Yard is this massive complex, huge, with different buildings, with this huge complex. I mean, there's all of these like designer stores. I mean, very high-end stores. There's restaurants, there are office buildings, there's hotel, there's I don't know how many blocks it is, but it's a massive complex. And so in like the middle of this complex, in like a square or a circle, of what it is this structure. And you guys remember it. That's where I was when we did the video, when I was out there trying to find which building and which which building in this massive place is that Meghan and they were having their mental health workshop summit. And of course, I never did find them. And so, so I just stayed in that, for the end of it, and most part, I just stayed in this area where the structure was, where the vessel was. And so, again, as I was saying before, when we, even before I went there, this was the Hudson Yard has been there since 2019, and I knew when it was coming, but then I forgot all about it, and I had not thought about it, the Hudson Yard, since I think 2019, to when I heard that the project Healthy Mind was having their seminar over there. And one is because it is just so far over there, and I hate going over there because, I mean, we used to have church like over there, not at the Hudson Yard, but there's like a huge convention center very close by. And so it just used to be such a long walk, or waiting for the bus was forever to get over there. And especially in the winter, it is freezing because the Hudson River is right there and it's always windy. So I hate it over there. So I think somehow I blocked that whole place out of my mind. And so I completely forgot about it. So so this happened. Hudson Yard thing opened up in 2019, and then obviously 2020 hit, and then it was pandemic, and then for 2.5 years, whatever, it was all about the pandemic. So for me personally, I knew nothing about what was happening over there. It just was completely, especially during the pandemic, for much of it, I shut out the news, and it was only the pandemic. As you know, New York was epicenter or ground zero really for COVID. And so, hundreds and hundreds of people just passing away every single day. So my mind was all on that. So I had no clue what was going on at the Hudson Yards. I wasn't even, I didn't even remember it was there. I think I blocked it out of my mind. I don't know why. But anyways, so when I posted this, someone and I didn't ask the person if I could mention their name, so I'm not going to. Someone in the comments mentioned that it was a place where people, for lack of a better word, eliminate themselves. And I was like, what? And so I had to go back. And I had to go back and read and realize I missed from 2019 to 2021 everything that was happening there. I had no idea what was happening there. And so it turns out that when it opened, 4 people, including a 14-year-old, basically climbed up on this thing. I mean, it's just, if you know anything about this structure, it's basically steps going up. There's nothing, it's just this iron thing, and with glass, or I guess over the waist height, and it's just steps going up, and it's a great view and all of that stuff. But it's not something that's pretty or whatever. For me, it's just I look at it as an artist, into artist's eyes, and for me it's just very interesting and very different, and so I love the complexity of it. But it's not something that makes you feel cuddly and loved and all of those things. And so again, for between the time it was open through 2021, 4 people climbed the top of it and eliminated themselves, including a 14-year-old child. And I had no idea. And so when I read that, I was like, the person called, what she said, she just literally said, elimination building or something. I'm not going to use the word she used because I don't want them to take the video down. But I was just like, what? And so I went back and I was like, oh my goodness. And so you guys can, I'm gonna let you on your own go read up about it if you're interested. And so I was like, oh my goodness. So it put so much into context for me why Project Healthy Minds chose the Hudson Yard in that community to have a mental health day and have all these summits there. And it's just like, okay, now that makes sense. Now it makes sense why. Because again, people struggling, especially through the pandemic, so many people struggling with their mental health, and so many people, and when I was there, by the evening, it was closed, like you couldn't go up, and I didn't know why. I just thought, maybe they're just doing renovations or something. I had no idea. I didn't know it was closed from last year when the child did that. And so it puts so into perspective so much more as to why Project Healthy Mind shows there, because that community so needed that. I can't imagine working in their community, and especially in New York, that we've had to live through 9/11 and all of the things that has happened that would just damage your mental health. um you know that I can't imagine that community, because so many people work in that community, so many people live around it or work in that community. Again, it has tons of office, as you can see in the picture here, all these buildings around it. People work there, and there are offices there, there are stores there are restaurants there. I mean, there's a hotel right there, the Equinox Hotel there. I mean, so many people in that community. I can't imagine working there and coming there every day, and just what that must do to your heart, your mind, your mental health. And so I was just like, oh, okay, now that makes a little, it's maybe that's why they chose it. And again, even with the topic, or Harry and Meghan, what they're talking about, that community needs, I mean, we all need it, but I understand a little bit deeper as to why, um you know uh, you know, Project Healthy Mind chose there. And so I was just like, oh my goodness. And I thank you so much for the person who posted that comment, because again, I had no idea, and I live right here, and again, all of this was happening during the pandemic. So my mind was on pandemic, and not, I had no idea what was going on over there. And so, there are a lot of articles about it, but I read this article about just, the people's mindset about the structure and how it affects your feelings and your emotions and all of those things. And let's see, I'm going to move my banner. I know it's a little bit heavy, so I'm just going to read this and then we'll be done with it. It says the central point of the architecture. This is someone this an educator talking about the structure, said the central point of the architecture and the design is that it is constructed in an environment. It is, I'm sorry, the central point of architecture and design is that the constructed environment influences how we feel and act. And the vessel, surrounded by on all sides by concrete, glass, skyscrapers, and crass commercialism, has a more fundamental issue, according to Jacob Alspector, a distinguished lecturer at the Spitzer School of Architecture at the City College of New York. The vessel is like McEscher's nightmare, he said, referring to the famed graphic artist known for his Staircase to Nowhere. It's kind of relentless. It's very gaudy. It's very cold. It's thrilling. It's not the most friendly and life affirming and inclusive kind of space or structure. It's kind of empty. What's the point of it? Just to walk up and walk down? And he also added, people who feel alienated in the world may not be supported very well by an experience like that, like going up and down the stairs. It's like a stair to nowhere. And if you're already having having problems with your mental health, this is not going to help you. And so it just is very, very interesting, and put this whole time and whole day and whole the reasoning behind maybe why project Healthy Minds chose over there into a whole new light and a whole new perspective. And so it was just like, wow, very like, again, it just affected me so much. And that's why I was like, oh my gosh, this is just, ooh, it's a lot, but again, it just calls, and points out why that day was so important, why Harry and Meghan's, and Archwell's seminar was so important, because that's what they're dealing with. And they're doing right there, in a place that needs it so desperately. Again, so many people work in that community. I cannot imagine, what that, what those events did to their mental health. So, please keep them in your thoughts and your prayers, maybe that they will continue to heal. And really, all of us, this whole city. I mean, there's so much many things go on in the city every day that is just like, oh, it's just, if you don't have a solid base, it will really do a number on you. So, yeah, I mean, again, so while I saw art and I saw, there's so much deeper stuff going on behind all of this stuff. So I just wanted to, as I learned it, I thought I'd share it with you guys. Anyways, I'll move on. Um, anyways, and jumping from that to a little bit of good news. I mean, in spite of all that's going on in the Middle East, and we've talked at length about that, World Central Kitchen, they are doing amazing. Onera organization that is a partner to World Central Kitchen. They have basically been expanding how many people that they've been serving. They are actually in Gaza. So they're again, they've partnered with World Central Kitchen. So Chef Andres tweeted about this today. He said the Onera org team in Gaza is doing incredible work for Palestinians and anyone who needs help immediately. We at World Central Kitchen are proud supporting distribution of 40-pound food kits, hot meals and vegetables today. 4,000 kits, 7,500 hot meals, 500 baskets of tomato, cucumbers, potatoes, and you see this. Actually, the picture on the right is a truck loaded with items for food for the people of Gaza. So when Harry and Meghan talked about, that they have a team in Israel, and I guess, but it's to feed all people. So World Central Kitchen, they have a team in Israel, but they have partnered with an organ because you can't get into Gaza. So Anero is already in Gaza, so they partnered with them and they've gotten supplies to them, so which is fantastic. And so also World Central Kitchen tweeted, volunteers in Central Israel joined Yelna, one of our local partners, to cook and pack lunch and dinner for families who have evacuated border communities. World Central Kitchen is distributing meals in 3 cities where people are staying in temporary housing. And so whether it's in Gaza or, again, there are people in Israel who have suffered as well, they have been horribly affected by all of this as well, and so they're also getting help. So it's just really wonderful that, again, with the Sussexes support and all the other people supporting World Central Kitchen, including Squatties. We've done a whole fundraiser for World Central Kitchen, and people continue to support World Central Kitchen. And again, you can support World Central Kitchen in different ways, either straight donation, or you can purchase Chef Jose Andres' book. I think it's like $30-something, where you get all these great recipes, including one from Meghan, and also POTUS. I'm sorry, not POTUS. What am I saying? Including oh my goodness, including FLOTUS, or Forever FLOTUS, Michelle Obama. She also gave a recipe in there as well. So definitely, for me, I was like, well, if I'm going to donate, I might as well get a book out of it. So there you go. So you can also purchase that, and all the funds are also going. That's also going to World Central Kitchen. So you can if you're interested, definitely do that, or you can just go on Anera.org. They have a website. You can definitely go and just check them out, and you can straight donate to them as well. So all of these options you have to be able to support, because I know right now it most likely feels like we feel helpless, because it's like people are dying. There's all of this horror that's going on out in Gaza, and it's like you feel like you can't help. And also, again, people in Israel have been suffering as well, and so it's like you feel helpless. And so these are ways that we can, support, and we can donate, and these are at least things we can do, because obviously we can't get there. So even today, I heard that there's like some kind of travel advisory going on right now. It looks like it's getting worse than before it gets better. So prayers, lots of prayers needed. So, anyways, moving on from that, and even to a completely different subject that is in pink. So, a little breather coming down from that. Actually, you know what? Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat first before we move on. Yeah, let's just jump into the chat for a minute before we move to a different topic. So yeah. Wait, what is it about Jubilee hat? What? What is this about a Jubilee hat? Yes, little Mac, the hat sold out, and I was wondering where will people wear it. I have no idea what Church Nelly is talking about. I have no idea. So I'm just like jumped into Church Nelly's conversation about a Jubilee hat. Okay, so here's Church Nelly. Thank you so much for putting the link there. So if you want a link to World Central Kitchen, it's wck.org. So definitely Church Nelly has it there in her post, so you can click on it and get there quickly. Let's see, what else are you guys talking about? Lorna says, architecture is not just about linear and vertical designs, but emotional awareness of the space and light, positive and negative. Yeah, very, very, very true. Very true, because it does affect your emotion and people's feelings towards it. Whether it's cozy, beautiful, even though it's an open space, what you put in there, it definitely affects your emotion. Colors is also, that affects me a lot. Like I've talked about that here. Like for example, the weather, or if if it's in a building, whatever, the color gray, that's never a color I want to be around, whether it's the clouds, gray clouds, or gray inside of a building. It's like, oh no. Like I run away from that one. So it definitely affects us. So yeah, it's very interesting. Let's see. Karen Warner says, to continue, I remember saying what a beautiful area, and it is promised to go back there when in New York again. That time I happened to take the bus because it was a spontaneous trip, too late to fly. I'm assuming you're talking about Hudson Yards. I'm assuming that it is beautiful over there. If that's what you're talking about, it is very, very beautiful over there. Really, I mean, peace, as peaceful as you could be in New York without, you would think you would hear like a lot of traffic, but you don't. And it's close to the river there, which is all for me always a good thing. It is really nice over there, really beautiful. Let's see. Karen says, there is Hudson Yards. Yeah. So when I saw I saw your of the statue, I said I was there. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. It is. I mean, it's really beautiful over there. So yeah. Bertie says, speaking of Mrs. Obama, I recently saw a video of her that made me cringe. Ooh. talking about how she did not like my forever president for 10 years. It doesn't take all that to sell a book. She was very she was very honest and open about her relationship with her husband, with the president. There was a time when, he was just away all the time, and she basically had to take care and basically, raise two kids on her own. And there, was a lot of resentment there, a lot of bitterness, but she was very open about it. And I'm telling you, marriage is not people who are honest with what's going on in their marriage. It's not for the faint of heart. It is not for the faint of heart. So I always, applaud people who are able to fight through it, get through it, and then be completely honest, because it's great for me. I mean, I see it differently in the sense that someone is willing to be like, look, this is what you should expect. I mean, yes, there are wonderful moments, but there are going to be moments that you don't really like each other or you may not like someone, but you work through it and then you get to the other side. And so I know it's not easy and it's not pleasant. Will and Jada, another, they are the other ones that are very, very honest, to the point where people are like, take me out the group chat, please. I don't want to hear. I mean, there was a girl on, I want to say it was TikTok. I saw a video. I think somebody posted it on Twitter, or X now, and she literally made up a song begging Jada to take her out the group chat. Because it's like, we don't want to know if you're faking, please. We don't want to know. Just take us out the group chat. We don't want to know about your business. But again, it's one of those things, like I was saying in the last episode. So many people have been gossiping about their relationship, including the Obamas as well. So many people gossip about what they think is going on in the relationship, but then the moment they decide, well, okay, I'm going to be honest and I'm going to tell you what our relationship was like, everybody run away. I don't want to hear. Don't tell me. I want to know. It's the same thing. The Sussexes, the same thing. They gossip and gossip and gossip about all this crazy stuff that they make up about the relationship. And the minute Harry and Meghan does the Harry and Meghan docuseries or the Oprah Winfrey interview, people are like, shut up, shut up, shut up. I don't want to know. I'd rather listen to the gossip. I'd rather listen to the lies. I'd rather make up lies about your relationship. Don't tell me the truth. So we have a very, I think, very interesting relationship with the truth of people's lives. And again, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. And it's not for the faint of heart. And maybe, if someone is going into a relationship thinking it's all like, flowers and all that stuff, maybe they want to take a little time to, think, well, do I want to go into a relationship and knowing that there may be times that I don't really like my husband? That might give people pause. At least take a longer pause to see if they want to go into a relationship. But I don't know. But I feel you, Bernice. Bernice. I know. I know the feeling. It ain't easy. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Lydia. Awesome moderator. Thank you for the reminder. Please, yes, like and share the video, subscribe, and join, please. Thank you. I appreciate. So let's see. Before we move on, Little Mac talk about Michelle Obama. Little Mac says, I remember Michelle Obama saying, yes, you can have it all, just not at the same time. I thought that was very honest because it lets people know that everyone struggles so they don't feel like a failure. Yeah, totally. And you struggle and you work through it and you work through it and you work through it until you get to the other side, so yeah. Adrian is like, Jada needs to take and keep her marriage behind closed doors. It's too much important things going on. I don't need to focus on the Smith family. Or just, scroll by them, Adrian. Just scroll on by. I know it's just all in front of your face. It is just all in front of your face when it's there. But girl, just stroll on by, Yes, this is where the Hudson Yards is. 30. I think it's actually 34 and 20. Oh, so okay, so 29 to 30. More like 33rd, right? Is it up to 34th? I think it's 33rd, right? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed more like 33rd than 34th. Um, let's see. Okay, so let's move on to this little thing here. It's so funny whenever I see something that says the first time in, we're in the year of our Lord 2023. So when I saw this thing, I was just like, are you serious? Are you serious right now? And let me just move my little banner, my little brand thing there so I can read it properly. But it's very interesting. From Essence, it says South Carolina High School elects first ever Black homecoming queen in its 155-year history. I mean, we are in the year of our Lord 2023. And it's just like, are you serious? And it's like, I'm happy for the young lady, but it's just so depressing to read it. It's like Porter High School in Charleston, now South Carolina, has not had a Black homecoming queen during the entirety of its 155-year existence. But that changed this year. Senior Amber Wilson DiBriano made history when she was elected by her peers as the 2023 homecoming queen. When I was nominated, that's Amber saying, when I was nominated, I didn't feel confident I would win, said Wilson DeBriano. However, throughout the weeks, many students told me that they were voting for me. When the day came and my name was called, I was relieved and honored because I knew I was a part of history. Wilson DeBriano continued, I was elated that the whole night my peers made me feel special for the day. Oh, good. A little other part of the article, it says it's both beauty and brains for the 17-year-old with a 4.66 GPA. The accolades don't stop there. She's the co-president of the school's Chinese club. It's like, oh, okay, interesting. And has received a biliteracy seal twice. In addition, she has co-founded several clubs, including Black Excellence Society. She thought this was needed at her school for Black students that have the ability to convene in a safe space, as well as brainstorm ideas to add diversity to the majority white school. And so it just, don't get me wrong. I am very happy for her. And there she is right here. And I'm assuming that is the homecoming king. And lovely, lovely young lady. And so she is also again part of the Chinese. So I guess she might be a mixture, biracial, Black and Chinese. I mean, she does seem like she does have Asian features as well. And so it's very, very, and again, I'm so happy for her, but it's also very interesting to me that 155 can't get by the 155-year part. I'm like, oh my goodness. I mean, you don't know if to celebrate or you just look like, how do you even respond to something like this? I don't even know how you respond. And it's just like, I mean, well, cool, and kudos to the kids, that they are, they've chosen her. And again, it's not just, she even said in an article, it's great to know that she wasn't just chosen for her race, but she's chosen for her abilities and, her intellect and all of those things, which is fantastic. But it's like, I didn't even know how to respond. I mean, again, I'm really happy for her. And, but it's just like, whenever I see things first time in 155 years, you're like, so it's very, 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 very interesting for me. But anyway, moving on. What else I have? Oh, Netflix and Suits. I mean, Suits is moving right along. Call it the Suits effect. After the gargantuan performance in the USA series following its debut on Netflix in July, the streamer signaled on Wednesday that it may be increasing its licensing content in the near future. So meaning it's going to be acquiring a lot more, shows like Suits that's done well in the past, and it's gonna be licensing or a bunch more shows. So expect, I mean, I don't know if Friends and stuff are still there, but expect a lot more of those, because they've seen how successful it is. People are nostalgic for older shows, and then I mean, look at what Suits is doing. So it goes on to say, though Suits has been streaming on other streaming services, including Peacock, the USA Network drama network drama's release of the first 8 seasons on Netflix led to renewed interest and record-shattering viewership of the summer. The legal drama is now the twice over is now the twice over most streamed acquired program. I don't know if that even makes sense. Spent more time as number one on Nielsen top 10 streaming programs list than any other title at 12 weeks. Following the show's streaming success on Suits, NBC Universal enlisted series creator Aaron Korsh to develop a new show set in that world. The show is set to take the approach of NCIS and CSI, basing the spin-off in a new city and featuring a new set of characters. And I mean, of course, I mean, Netflix would be stupid if they didn't try to acquire other shows to see if they will do the same kind of numbers. It would help Netflix if they would actually pay the creators of these shows what they're worth. We're still, Saga is still striking, crazy. But again, hey. And it's good to know, again, Aaron Korsh is developing a new series again, whether it's surrounding, Meghan's dad. Again, they said it's a whole set of new characters. So I'm assuming maybe not, but we will see. But I could totally see Meghan as a producer on this show. I could totally see it. So we will wait and see if that is the case. I don't expect to see Meghan acting. I mean, but I do expect, that she would be producing some stuff apart from the movie she's doing. Yeah. And talking about Suits, Suits dropped out last week. It dropped out of number one. It dropped to number two, and so the trade papers were thinking, okay, well, that's the end of it all. Suits, it's just run its course. It's now fading away. It's now at number two. So other shows are gonna. Well, then we got to this week. Nielsen streaming top 10 Suits returned to first place for the 13th time after 1 week at number two. So Suits is basically just being Suits, and so the Variety article is like, well, that didn't last long. It appears that the reign of Suits and the Nielsen streaming top 10 had finally come to a close during the September 11-17 viewing week window, when Virgin River bumped it to the second most streaming title of the week after 12 weeks on top. But Virgin River fell to third place during the September to 18-24 window, while Elemental rose to number two, leaving the number one position open again for Suits with a 1.8 billion minutes watched. And so, yes, the viewership is going down because, now everyone except me has been watching, and they probably finished the series except me. And so the minutes are going down, but it's still number one. I mean, and again, last week they thought, well, finally it's fading away, and now it's like, well, not so fast. So again, Suits is just being Suits. So there. Anyways, talk about Suits and anything and anyone associated with the Sussexes. But Misan is on a high. Misan, as we've mentioned before, Misan has a short film that came out, and it's screened in Holly Shorts in California, and won. And of course, he showed off his trophy that he won. And so because that festival is one of those where makes you eligible to be nominated for an Oscar, Variety, they've put out their predictions. I mean, don't take Variety's word for it, because they were predicting that Harry and Meghan docu-series would be nominated, and they didn't. So they're predicting, and one of the films that it's predicting that's going to win, or at least be nominated for an award for live action short, is The After by Netflix, and that one is by Misan Harriman. So Misan is all excited. He's like, OMG, Variety just made this prediction. Can't believe it. Yes. So Misan is all excited. And of course, the After, which is the film, it stars David Oyelowo. I always forget butcher his last name, but it stars him. And so it is coming out on the 25th of October. So, if you have Netflix, it's going to be on Netflix. So definitely check it out on the 25th of October. But he is very excited. We're all very excited for Misan, who is absolutely awesome. I love Misan Harriman. He is just good people. Yeah, so hey, you go, Misan. I look forward to, seeing if it gets nominated. It would be amazing. It would be absolutely amazing. So I love this, and I love to see the fact that people who have relationships with Meghan and Harry they're all succeeding, and they're all doing their stuff, and and it's just, it's fantastic. It is just fantastic. So yeah. Awesome. J-Matt says Meghan should produce a new Suits, or maybe write it. Hey, the sky's the limit there. The sky is definitely the limit. But I could definitely see her produce. She doesn't seem to be, at least she said, you never say never with things, obviously. But I don't see her acting again. Maybe doing voice work, like, voiceover, like we've seen her do. Or, but I could totally see her definitely producing stuff like this. Of course, there's still working on that book. Did you guys read that book? What is it? The Meet Me at the Lake? I read it, and I would be interested to know if you guys read it. That's the book that Netflix acquired, that Harry and Meghan are going to produce. Whenever SAG, whenever that SAG and the studios decide to end their conflict, and and the strike is over. But it just is very, I read it, and it would be very interesting to know what you guys thought. I was like, well, okay, this is interesting. I don't know. Maria says, I can see her acting in a Suits reunion. Okay. Well, see, everybody sees differently. So there you go. Marina could see it. So there you go. Lola Love said, she's talking to Beverly, Meghan is done acting. She is now behind the camera. I think future Suits will still do well if they have a good actors like the original Suits. Yeah. And a lot of it too is not, it's the acting, but then the writing was so witty, and then the chemistry with the actors, because I think they were so close that they looked like they really had fun. And that is what I think comes across. Like, you want to, even when they're just being bad and being horrible people and doing horrible things, you're like, but I still like them. And I think that's why it's kind of like you had hope for them, even when they're not being their best. Or most ethical, I should say. But let's say Lullaby says, I totally agree. I was saying DeSantis wanted to change history books, so high school kids choosing a Black homecoming queen is good and should be celebrated. Yeah, absolutely. I think that this generation of kids are really, they are so much more, intelligent in that way, and so much more aware and so much more accepting of differences than obviously the old, even with our generation. And it bodes well. Like, they're not buying into any of that, whether it's racism or any of that stuff. They have their own path, and it's great to see them doing it. It's just that 155-year thing that is just like, oh God. I'm like, why? J-Bad says there would be no streaming of Suits without Meghan. We made it happen. Will not watch another show without Meghan. Sorry. There you go. J-Bad is very, 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 it's like, yep. Without Meghan, no. No. Yeah, I mean, Megan's effect. And I don't, that definitely brought people to it, because especially people who saw the Harry and Meghan docu-series, because what happened when Netflix started promoting it is that they would promote it also, along with Harry and Meghan docu-series. So when people see the connection, it's like, oh wow, yeah, let me check this out, and then they see how amazing it is, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is great. Well, yesterday, it's so funny. Yesterday, we talked about this before. There was this guy on Twitter who's like, oh my gosh. He's like totally freaking out. Yesterday, oh my gosh, I have watched, I forgot how many of the seasons he's already watched. And he's like, I only now realize that Meghan is the girl Harry's married to. And so I had to put a big laughing emoji, because it was so funny watching him realizing it in real time. It was hilarious. He's like, yeah, I understand, Harry. I understand. He's like, I always thought she was really great. It was really funny. Yep. Yesterday he was realizing it. So yeah, very, very funny. Let's see. Have a great night, Prudence. Thank you so much for for coming by and hanging out with us. Let's see. Um, um, Karen's like, they're failing to say why Suits is has such high viewership because of Princess Meghan. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the writing is great. It's a lot of fun. The series is a lot of fun, but Meghan is the one that drew. She's the draw. She's the draw. And, on top of that, she's good. And of course, she's gorgeous. And then the relationship and the whole bit, you know. So I'm still in the early stages of Suits. But all of it. But yeah, Meghan is the draw. And so, yeah. And I think they come for Meghan and then they stay for the whole series and realize all of it is fantastic, including Meghan. So there you go, absolutely fantastic. Let's see. Reba says, "Hello, Pedal Mod Squad, Squaddies. Jada is only giving people ammunition against her. Stop telling all your business. Stop telling all your business. I don't get why. Harry was responding to vicious racist lies for years past. Yeah, totally." The thing about it too, if you've gone back a few years, especially when the kids were, what is the little daughter Willow? Remember that her very popular song, whip my hair back and forth, I whip my hair back and forth. Yeah, that. And so, especially around that time, there was all of this gossip about Will and Jada's relationship, about how they raised their kids. People actually even called, I think, those children's services on the family. I mean, all kinds of craziness that happened where people just sort of went crazy because they felt like they knew or they cared more about Jada's relationship or they can figure out their relationship better than Jada and Will could. And so there was all of this mass where, I mean, the rumors and the gossip about their relationship was relentless. And so, I don't know what was true and what was not true. But it was relentless. And so for me, that's why I understand why they, again, Will just did his memoir and nobody really said anything. Nobody said he shouldn't do it. And so for me, it's very interesting that Will did his memoir and, I didn't hear any big hubbub about it, but there's more of a pushback that Jada is talking about it. And a lot of people have branded her like, she's this horrible person. And so it's all very interesting to me. But again, I get, again, so many people like you, Reba, are like, please take us out the group chat. We don't want to hear anymore. I totally get that. Scroll past. That's all I'm gonna say. Scroll past. A scroll past it if it's just you don't want to hear anymore. But I mean, I understand why they would do it. Because again, all of the rumors and all of the lies and all of the misconceptions, look, they feel like, I want to tell my story. I'm not going to, I want to have my side of the story out there so that, down the road, history is not going to be what you say. And it's the reason why, I mean, again, I compare it with Harry and Meghan. It's the same thing. They too were responding to the lies, the gossips, the misconceptions, the misreport. I mean, all kinds of stuff that was said about them, and the abuse and all of that stuff. It's the same thing Will and Jada went through for years. And obviously, they didn't have to deal with the British press and the royal family, so that's a little bit different. But again, it's correcting a false narrative. And so the whole thing is, they are correcting, or they are letting you know, okay, this is what you thought, but this is what was really happening behind the scenes. So again, it's not for everybody. Marriage is messy. I've never been married, but from what I'm seeing, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm so happy I'm single. I think I'll just keep it that way. I would just keep myself single, because that's just messy. um Terry says, I think people are more upset because they found out they've been living separate lives for 6 or 7 years. And look, I get that. I get that, because I feel like there has been a little bit of not telling the truth in that part, where, but someone actually said in a video, they shared a video or something like that with, I think it was Will, where they kind of alluded to it, but it was kind of missed in a way, that they were separate. But because I think they would show up to things together and all of that stuff, that you didn't realize. And it, even, like, even when she was doing the red tabletop, that didn't come across, that they, even when the whole entanglement bit, it didn't come across that they were separate, even though they literally said it, that they were not together. They had got separated while that whole entanglement thing was happening. So it just and I think, these are show people as well. So a lot of this stuff, they, I guess it's also played for drama. So you'd buy the book or buy the memoir or whatever. So yeah, it's just, it's a lot. Like that lady said, take us out the group chat. We want to be free. Oh, very interesting. Let's see. Manuel says, Will and Jada are just taking their drama to the networks instead of keeping it on social media like some couples do. That's the only difference to me. And they're making money off of their drama. They're definitely making money off of their drama. It's like, look, if y'all be talking about it, we'll make money off of this. So there you go. But Jada has not. I think Jada, they literally physically now live separately. Jada bought her own house, and they've, but they're not divorced. They're still together. They're not getting a divorce, even though they live separately. So I think, but they're still trying to figure out how to be together. So look, their stuff is not for everybody. Not everybody could do what they're doing. It's not recommended, I don't think. But that's how that's how they're figuring out how, whatever it is they're figuring out between them. But I mean, look, kudos to them. At least they're still trying. Whether it works out in the end or not, they haven't given up in spite of all, I'm sure, the mistakes, all the stuff that's gone on between them. They haven't given up, and they're still trying to figure it out. Again, whether it works out or not, I applaud them for even trying. So lesser folks would have been divorced years ago. They probably would have forgotten each other's name, but they are still trying to figure it out. So look, whatever, I guess, whatever we think about it, they're definitely doing what they're doing. So there you go. Joy says, Jada and Will's situation is completely different thing than Harry and Meghan. Jada is just putting too much of her marriage out there. Jada has been talking in the red table talk, putting out stuff. Yep, she does definitely put out stuff. Yeah. Very true. So yeah. Again, it's one of those things, you either take it or you leave it. take it or you leave it. So yeah, Coffee But, thank you so much for your super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate. Traditionally says yes, but Ojeda and Will said they were living in the same house at opposite ends. Oh, okay. Well, what I understand from a couple of days ago. It seemed like she purchased her own place. So they seem to now be living in separate places, but still working on their relationship. I think so. Who knows? I guess you'll have to buy the book and figure it out. I will not be buying the book, so I wish them well. That's just a little bit too much married drama for me. I'm like, I can't be that deep into it. So no. I wish them well. So yeah. Let's see. Um oh Lord. We're all about Jada and Will. um Chody says, he says, thank goodness I spared my brain cell from such salacious tough talk. I I only hear snippets from my friendly channel. I know. I know, right? You should spare your brain cell, Cho. I don't blame you. I do not blame you. Little Max says Tipper Gore and Al Gore have been separated for more than a decade. I think they're still married. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Not that I ever think about Al Gore, but I had no idea they were separated again. Things that go on in people's marriages. I had no idea. That is new information to me. Some people are like, who is Tipper Gore and who's Al Gore? But let's see. What else I got? It's just like Tipper Gore and Al Gore. I had no idea. Telling you, people and their relationships. Okay, so finally, Better Up posted this today. It says each person deserves a day away in which no problems are confronted, no solutions searched for. Each of us needs to withdraw from the cares which will not withdraw from us. That's from Maya Angelou. So yes, every single one of us deserve to take a day away from our problems. And know some people right now, especially those in war zones, they don't have that luxury of withdrawing because of circumstances around them. But those of us, which is so horrible and unfortunate. But those of us who can thank our lucky stars that we're not in that environment, take advantage now, because you never know when it's our turn with things. So take the advantage now and just take a day away. We all deserve a day away, away from problems, away from all kinds of stuff, so we can just, preserve our mental health, can have some peace, can have some serenity in our lives. It really, really helps. Especially for me, it's like going down to the water is like my favorite thing in the world. And it's so weird. Deep waters scare me to death, but yet for some reason going near it gives me peace. I don't understand. I'm a weird person. I am a very, very weird person. But yeah, so each one of us, definitely for all of us, take a day off, especially if you're on social media with all the mess going on. It just, take a break. Give your mind a break from all that drama. So yeah, but anyway, so a couple more comments, maybe away from Jada and Will Smith and their drama. Let's see. Joe says Spare has a Penguin Random House acknowledgement article. It's fantastic read to see everyone who was behind this wonderful memoir success. Wait, is that new? Huh. I would have to go check it out. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it's new, I definitely didn't see it because I haven't seen, other than when that they're putting it up for a Grammy. I didn't see something new from Penguin Random House. So let me know if that's new. That is great. We can all check it out. So I mean, gosh, so deserved in every area of Spare. It's just so amazing. So yeah. Let's see. Veronica says, I hate the amount of attacks on Jada. Will is no victim. He clearly agreed to be in that relationship. which is what I say all the time. Is like, people are attacking her. Will literally wrote a memoir earlier in this year, and all the people who are attacking Jada, like you see them online, like men, women, even a lot of us in the Black community attacking Jada, like she's doing something to Will. Like, people like, yo, but you're emasculating Will and all of that stuff. And I'm like, Will talked about all the stuff he did, and none of y'all were sympathetic to what he did to Jada. But now Jada is talking about her side, and you are acting like Will is some kind of like a, poor little victim of Jada. No, that's not the truth. But again, blaming a Black woman, especially someone perceived as a strong Black woman, is so like second nature. It's unbelievable. There's this sports guy who was literally on Twitter screaming at Jada, like, about emasculating. I'm like, are you serious? Will Smith is probably one of the strongest people. It takes a lot of strength to be able to do the things that they do. It is not for the faint of heart to deal with all the stuff and be able to talk openly about the things of whether it's them personally, dealing with the mental health, dealing with abuse, dealing with, his family, his parents and all of that stuff. That stuff takes a lot of strength to be able to be open about your relationship like that. That is not easy stuff. Lesser folks, I wouldn't want to do it because I'd be scared. But they put it out there. It's not easy to do that stuff, knowing the backlash you're going to get, knowing people are going to misinterpret it, knowing that people just don't want to hear your voice. That takes a lot of strength. Again, most of us are like, oh, please take us out of the group chat. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear. I don't want to deal, because it's hard. It's uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable dealing with stuff like that and hearing stuff in those details. It is, again, it is not for the faint of heart. So for the people thinking that somehow Will is this little flower child, that Jada is the it's like, dude, really? So no, Will is not some innocent little one. He's done his stuff. So yeah. Wait, Rosita says, Puddle, you from Trini and Frayed? What do you mean? Oh, Frayed water. I am. I don't like deep waters because of an incident from my childhood. I been traumatized most of my life. I finally was able to, when I was working in a gym, able to swim and go to the deep ends, but I still can't go by myself. I have to have people around me. Just to go back in the water is just traumatic. So it's still something that has traumatized me to this day. And this happened when I was a little kid, probably like, I don't know, 10, 11. And that's what happens when you don't get, professional help with things. And it's just something that it's always with me. And so deep waters are terrifying. Yet it's when I'm close to it, like, I posted tons of pictures with me by the water. It's something that brings me so much peace. So there's always that thing where it's like I'd be afraid to go in the water, but being close to the water gives me peace. It's weird. Again, I am a weird person. What can I tell you? It's just, I am very weird. And so, yeah, mad world. It's like, well, I Jada putting their business out there. It's no different from the Kardashians. Just ignore them if you can. Yeah, again, look, if it's not your thing, just scroll on by. Just scroll on by, So yeah, it's not for everybody. Veronica said, Lady T, I can't, she's talking to Lady T, I cannot stand Stephen A. Smith. Yes, that's the one who was screaming at Jada. He always opening his mouth to say something ignorant. And this man was screaming at Jada like she is emasculating me. I was just like, are you serious? Are you serious? Yeah, it's just crazy. J-Man says, I almost drowned in the Virgin Islands last year. Oh my goodness, I thought I was dead. I can feel you, Pedal. Oh my word. Well, I can't imagine going through that. That is, oh my goodness. I am so sorry you had to experience that. stuff like that is, it's traumatizing, and it's very hard to go back in the water. It is very hard to go back to, especially where your feet can't touch the ground, and or the sand, which for me is just terrifying. And so yeah, I can do it if there are people around me. I can't, still can't do it by myself. And definitely not in a big ocean. I can do it in a pool. That's as far as I can go. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's very scary. um, let's see. A couple more. Um, Rohini says, so did we tell Petal about William of Aberdeen? Who is that? Wait, am I who? Wait, tell me something. Who? What am I missing? Tell me. What am I missing? Tell me. I don't know who that is. um, let's see. Let's see. Um, Joan says, married 40 years, 6 kids. It's hard work, but worth it. Yeah, it is very hard work. I mean, my parents have been married for, I would say now almost 60 years. About 60 years. My mom is probably listening. I think that it was about 60 years. And it's been difficult at times. It's been very, very difficult at times. But they, somehow have been able to work through it. And they're still married. And my dad is very, very elderly now. And but my mom is still sprightly and very, very sprightly and around. But yeah, it's definitely been challenging. I am definitely surprised that they're still together, but they've been able to work through things, and now they're on the other end of it, and have been able to weather the storm. It's, again, marriage ain't easy. It is not easy. So yeah. And I'm talking about like I'm married, but I'm not married. I've never been married. So, but what I've seen, even with my own parents, yeah, it's not easy. So yeah. Um, Arrington W. Oh, I don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome, Arrington W. Funny thing, Paddle, in Audible, because of the success of Spare in the Plus catalog, free books. All the Derangers, the books are appearing as free reads, trying to get their poor read numbers up. Wait, huh? I'm not sure I understand. Because of the success of Spare in the Plus catalog free books, all the Deranger books. Oh, all the Deranger books are appearing as free reads. Oh, you're kidding. Oh, I see. You're kidding. You notice since Spare came out, all of those Royal Reporter books have flopped. And I'm so happy with the squad that we have literally just ignored them. And whether it's just like Robert Jobson, or who else did a book, that horrible man, I'm not even going to say his name, but he's that horrible old man that wrote that horrible book about Meghan. I mean, all of them, Valentine Lowe, they've all written books, and they have all flopped. So it's just like, kudos to the squad for just letting them just die. So yeah. Let's see. A couple more before we end. Manuel says, Little Mac, when Chris Rock came out with his film, I never watched it. He never sat right with me. Which film are you talking about? I mean, I saw The Good Hair, which is why I was so upset when he was going after Jada's hair, because this man made money off of Black women's hair, and so that was very much like, ugh. And it's so interesting because Jada, in an interview recently, said that Chris Rock, after Will slapped him, and she didn't even realize it was a slap until later. She actually thought it was like some kind of rehearsed thing that they did, and then realized a little bit later it wasn't. She said that Chris Rock came down at the edge of the stage and apologized, apparently, to her. But then he did that. and then that was over. Then Chris Rock, wasn't it like a few months ago, did one of those comedy specials. Chose to do it in Jada's hometown in Baltimore, and attacked her again there. And it was just like, what is your deal? Of course, that he had asked her out and she said no. But it was just like, dude, what is, again, I'm not here for Chris Rock at all in any sense of the word. So, yeah, Good Hair. That was his, yeah, Good Hair was his film. What did I say? Did I not say Good Hair? Probably said the wrong thing. But yeah, it just like, I saw it, and then he's making, money off of black women's hair, and then attacking black women, and that's the thing for the white audience to be laughing at us. It's sick. It's really, really, really sick. Little Mac says Jobson has another one. He claims William and Charles have an agreement to never speak to Harry alone. They always want witnesses to prevent Harry from lying. This coming from lying Robert Jobson. I mean, I know that he wrote a book about Charles. I mean, did he write another book after Charles, the one he just wrote about Charles? But Harry talked about that William and Charles were together when they met him, and so but so who knows? I mean, you talk about lying. It's just like, hello, we're talking about the royal family here and the British press. Lying is like their middle name. They eat and breathe lies. I mean, it's such ridiculousness. Again, that's another book. Robert Jobson's book about Charles that failed. It bombed big time. So kudos to the squad for just ignoring them. Show says Robert Lacey, Tina Brown, Piers Morgan, Angela Levin books. No match for Spare. Yeah, none of them did well. I know Tina Brown was so desperately trying to get her book to do well. It did not do well at all. And, so yeah. Angela Levin's, she wrote about Camilla. I was like, dude, that's not going to go anywhere. I don't know why you would think that would even sell. And of course, it did not sell at all. So there you go. J-Bud says, Jobson should just go ahead and eat his book. It did not sell. Yeah, no. I know Omid's book is coming out. I mean, everybody feels differently about stuff, but his book is coming out, I think next month or something like that. Yeah, I'm at the point where it's just like, if Harry and Meghan hasn't written it, I'm just like, no. But I wish him success. Look, a lot of people are buying it, so I'm definitely not putting any money on Royal Reporter books anymore. So there you go. And even historians, they are all just lies. I mean, it's lies upon lies upon lies. I did read William Jobson's book about William turning 40. That's not his latest, actually. He wrote that before the one about Prince Charles. I think it's called Our King or something like that. He wrote William at 40 before. That was when William just turned 40. And it's one of those books that was like, it was a whole book about all the things William wanted to be and never really accomplished anything. It was just a horrible, like, really? You wrote a whole book about nothing? So, yeah, it's just like, yeah. Very, very interesting. And a lot of that book was about Harry. And it was just like, you wrote a whole book about William, and, so much about it is about Harry. It's just very funny. Yes. Chris Rock is a bully. Yes. It's like, I can't get you, so I'm going to destroy you. So yeah. Lorna says, I ordered Omid's book with a credit I got on Audible. That's a way to do it. I always get all these credits on Audible, so because I also have Audible. So actually, that's how I get a lot of my books, is from my credits on Audible. So there you go. Great way to get a free book. So good. Not that it's free because you're paying for Audible, but it feels like free. But I would love to know if anybody read the book that was acquired by and we could talk about it next time because I'm going to end this in a minute. But I would love to know if anybody read the book. Was that Meet Me by the Lake? I think that's what it's called. Harry and Meghan, the book that Netflix acquired for Harry and Meghan to produce, because I read it and I felt like it was more like a teenage drama. And maybe because I listened to it, so it's an audible, and maybe it's the person reading it that it just felt like I felt like I was reading a teen romance in a way. So it was very interesting. So anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna end this here. It's fun chatting with you guys. I thank you so much to our awesome moderators, Church Nelly, Lydia, Karen M, Cookies and Cream, Black Queen. Thank you so much for keep taking care of the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to all of our awesome 2 Cents crew who support the chat on a monthly the podcast on a monthly basis. Thank you guys so very much, and all of you who support in the chat. Thank you for your donations, super chats, super stickers, all the wonderful things that you purchase. And also those of you who donate via PayPal and Cash App. Thank you. Thank you all so much. I loves you all, and I shall talk to you tomorrow. I love ya tomorrow. See you. Bye.